Hello, hello, hello. So our webinar is on. We have started. Thank you guys so much for joining in. It is a couple seconds before 1 o'clock. And let me just say, I caught a little bug recently. So my throat, my voice may go in and out. You may hear me cough. I have my tissue right here, but showing up anyway for you guys. So much for joining us. I saw a lot of people registering with the email file code. I think that's in Grand Bahama, right? So shout out to everyone in Grand Bahama who registered. Thank you so much for joining. And we are going to be chatting, as you know, about the 4 fears or 4 ways to beat your on-camera fears. So grab your pens and pads. Make sure. Hey, Kenny. Also, you guys, if you have any questions that you may want to ask, be sure to use the Q&A section. The microphone is muffled at times. Okay, let me fix that. Put it on the outside. Let me just put it on the outside. I didn't want the big thing to show, so I had it in. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. Hey, Daquan. Hey, Rolandra. Hey, that you have that I may not be able to get to as I am presenting. So Kenny, Linda, and Kim will be helping you guys out with that. Be sure to also put your questions in the Q&A section so we can get to them specifically because they may get lost in the chat area. So be sure to put your questions there. Hi, Samantha. Thank you so much for joining. So good to see you. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Shakira. Oh, y'all are coming in. Y'all are coming in hot. Thank you so much for joining me. So I have, like I said, a great presentation that I think I put together for you guys. And I think it's time now to get started. Like I said, we have a tight schedule. I don't want to take you beyond the 1 hour that I have allotted to be here today. So let's just get everything started. But I think it's pretty straightforward. Can you guys see that presentation? Yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see my first presentation slide. Yes. All right. Yeses across the board. And again, if you're just popping in, I have a little cold, so you may hear me from here sometime again, but I got you guys. I'm here. All right. So I think I want to turn off my video just because I want you to focus on what you will be seeing on the screen, but I will pop back in a little bit later. Thank you guys again so much for being here, and let's get this presentation started. So welcome to this free training, this free webinar from Freeze Up to Show Up, 4 ways to face your on-camera fears. So today I will be helping you face your most pressing fears of being on camera by sharing tools, strategies, and tips that I use to confidently show up on camera just about every single day. Right? So the single most important thing for you, I want you to walk away from this webinar today having the power and confidence to tell your story using video content on social media and in the news to position your brand and business for increased engagement, getting new clients, and for maximum exposure. This is your single most important thing to focus on today. This is what you will be walking away with today. This is what I want you to leave this webinar today having accomplished or ready to accomplish. Right? But why? Why is it important to be good on camera? Why is it important for you to learn how to be good on camera, show up on camera for social media and for media interviews? Well, 1, because video is the most effective marketing tool today. There's no running away from it. There's no hiding from it. All companies, big, small, medium, are using video content to sell their brands and businesses. In 2015, 78% of marketers say video content was important to their strategy. But in 2020, that number jumped to 92%. And we know that with the pandemic, so much more people had to turn to video to sell their brands, sell their products, sell themselves. Also because social media platforms now prioritize video content. If you look at what Instagram did with Reels, if you look at what Instagram did with your video content, they are now prioritizing video content. If you scroll your Explore page, if you scroll your home page, all you are seeing is video content. They have now taken the videos that we posted in 2019, in 2015, and 2013, and have now turned them into Reels, right? Video no longer exists in the original video format on Instagram. If you look at what Twitter recently did, Twitter, and I love to use Twitter. Twitter is now allowing you to upload video clips with your photo clips in your Twitter post. I don't know if anybody is, put a 2 in the chat if you are well versed with Twitter and how that works. At one point, you could only upload 4 single static photos at a time. Now you can interlace them with video clips, which is now proving that video is now more important, even on a platform that once thrived off of text only, right? Why you should also be well versed with being on camera and using video content is because this is the perfect time to position your brand for a boost in holiday sales. If you are a brand, a business, if you have a service to sell, this is now almost November. This is the perfect time for you to learn how to show up on camera. This is the perfect time for you to learn how to position your brand by using video content. And also, as we head into the new year, this is the perfect time to now re-strategize what your content looks like for your business and including video in that strategy, right? So these are all the reasons I think you should now be learning how to position your video content and why you should get better on camera. So tell me in the chat, how would you feel if a video that you shot, a good video, went viral today? If this is something that you were sharing, something that you were passionate about, something that you were teaching or promoting your business, and you had 1 million likes or 1 million shares or 500,000 follows from that one post. How would you feel if you saw a video of yourself on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, and you had people commenting from all over the world? You had people sharing it from all over the world. How would you feel if your work reach parts of Australia, parts of the Caribbean, reach other parts of the United States? You would feel thrilled. I see excited. I see overjoyed. Exactly. This is what video content does. Shocked but excited. I'd be shocked as well, but definitely excited. This is what video content does. Video content has the power to move more quickly around the world than text does, than a photo does, right? And so you need to now know why. Well, now you know why video content is so important. It just moves more quickly. It's like a virus. It literally moves more quickly. How many videos have you gotten in your WhatsApp chats this morning, or sent to you via DMs, or sent to you via email? Because video content is where it's at. It's able to tell the story easier. You get in, you get out. They're more viral. They're more trendy, and that's what people are really cashing in on. And I want you to stay to the end of this webinar. Stay to the end to cash in on some bonus coaching. If you like what you see here today, if you like what you hear here today, I have so much more in store for you after this webinar. So stay to the end to cash in on bonus coaching, access to some of my online courses, as well as an irresistible bundle offer. All right, who's excited for that? So why are you here today? You are here today because you are tired of freezing up every time the cameras turn on. Put a hands up in the chat if any of these relate to you. You are tired of freezing up every single time the camera turns on. You are here today because you want to be more fearless in sharing your stories. You are here today because you are tired of shrinking when you should be showing up and tired of turning down opportunities that can grow your business. You are here today because you are tired of watching everyone else do it. And I know that hits hard for some people. And you are also here today because you want to see yourself on the screen and finally feel proud. Anybody? Hands up for anybody that any one of those things relate to. Jessica says, yes. Shakira Butterfield, I see your hand. Well, you are in the right place today. So today, here's what we will cover. We will be covering the 4 mistakes or fears you are making or leaning into when you are on camera. We will also be covering how to beat those fears and correct those mistakes. We will also cover mindset and tangible strategies you can employ today, on this very day, October the 27th, to help you be better on camera. And I will share, and I will get very vulnerable. And my friends in my studio, my husband in my studio, no one knew that I was going to do this except my coach. I will be sharing with you the #1 mind-blowing thing that I did to regain my confidence, save my reputation, and beat my fear of being on camera. That's a story time you're going to want to stick around to hear. Trust you me. Right? So why you should pay attention, why you should listen to anything that comes out of my mouth, why should you even care about what I have to say today? Because hi, I am Ianthia, if you didn't know, And I have 15 plus years in journalism and mass media in the country. I have 8 plus years as a blogger, influencer, and content creator. I am a media coach to hundreds, I'd say thousands, if you look at the numbers on my social media. I was a TV host for the BTC TV show, Chef It Up. I have worked in front of and behind the screen as an on-air talent and a producer for 5 web and TV shows like The Click and A Mouthful. I host for live TV events such as the Click Platinum Song Competition, and I've even hosted the Miss Bahamas pageant one year. I have worked with Essence, Forbes, Travel Guide, and Exo Nicole, and I have anchored the TV news for the national broadcaster ZNS and private media house JCN, and I've been a reporter at 4 out of the 5 media houses in New Providence. And my blog, Miniskirts and Microphones, was awarded the 2019 Elevation Blog of the Year. Right? So I host in-person workshops, create online courses, and facilitate one-on-one coaching for my students. So here's what people are saying. I have had people come to my workshops. They have taken my online courses. And here's a little glimpse as to what they're saying. Raquel, she says, when you want to level up in life, you scout out, follow, and learn from those who have a track record and receipts from the same place you want to go. Ianthia is that person. A born creative, influencer, and now teacher who inspires and encourages her audience to create and inspire. She shares everything she knows with no holds barred on the information she gives. And she ain't lie, right? Here's what somebody else has said. Someone says, if you're on the fence, take my word and go for it. This is Letitia. She attended my workshop last year, and I really helped her to clarify her brand story and create the content that she needed to create. But none of this happened for me overnight, as I know it's not happening for you overnight. I worked, I toiled, I created events, I hosted stuff, I created projects. I went back to the news at one point and did a news with ZNS. I have been in the game for so long, every day, honing my craft and working on this every single day. And so beating my fares on camera, sorry, I don't know why I have audio in my ear. Oh, girl, y'all, I was listening to the Ashanti podcast with Angie Martinez last night, and it still popped up in my Twitter. All right, so beating my fares on camera meant this for me. I got a promotion at work, y'all. Believe it or not, I was afraid to go on camera. I started off in print journalism at the Nassau Guardian, and when I transitioned to JCN, they were like, oh, you got to go on TV. And I was like, oh, no, ma'am, I'm not. I was not ready to go on camera for so many reasons. But once I faced those fears and I beat those fears, I got a promotion at work to now become the anchor at JCN. I created my first web show that got picked up by a cable network, The Click, and I increased my visibility through social media, news, features, and shows. But what does it mean for you to beat your on-camera fares? Beating your on-camera fares will mean increased confidence on camera and in the real world, which is super important. Developing deeper connection with your current clients and potential clients, more opportunities and features, more money, and positioning. Sorry, why is every time I touch my earbud, something pops up. I got to turn off my touching features. Sorry, being on camera will also mean positioning yourself as the expert in your field. Every single time you show up on camera, whether that's in news or on social media, you add a notch to your expertise. You add a notch to being that go-to person in your field. You add a notch to being the person that the news media come in to look for, to do features and to do online and to do features on. You become that person now who people go to because they see you more, they hear your voice, they hear from you, and being on camera endears people more to you. So are you ready? Put a 3 in the chat if you are ready for today's session. Grab your pens, grab your pads, and grab your edges because we are jumping into this presentation right now. All right, you guys, so here we are jumping in, like I said. This is the first mistake you are making that is leading to your fear of being on camera. You think it's all about you, and it really ain't. You think you showing up on camera is about how you look, how you feel. I'm being told to turn on my video. You feel like showing up on camera is all about how you look, how you feel, what you got going on, what you got to say, what you feel like wearing today. It's not all about you. It's about the community that you are called to serve. It is about the mission that you were put on this earth to fulfill. It's not about you. It's not about you at all. It's about the people who look up to you. Me showing up on camera right now for you, and I turned on my camera for this, is because I made a promise to you guys. I committed to showing up today at 1 p.m. to share with you. I committed to showing up. And so as sick as I am, taking 3 different pills my doctor gave me yesterday, my voice is gone. I didn't feel like putting on makeup, went to the hairdresser yesterday just to be here for you, because I committed, because I know the community that I've built, because I know the mission that I was set out on. And so showing up on camera is not all about you. When you take the you out of it, the game changes, right? When you take your own criticisms of yourself out of it, when you take your own fears out of it, when you take the things that you beat yourself down about out of it, the game literally changes. So the first mistake that we make that feeds into this fear of being on camera is thinking that it's all about me. And it's not all about me. It's not all about you. It's about your community and your mission, right? So how many times have you seen a video or watched a post or saw something where someone says, I really didn't want to post this, but, or I didn't want to share this, but I knew it would help someone. Those are the people who get it. When I say the girls who get it, those are the girls who get it. They get it and they understand that I am doing this not because of me. I'm doing this to help someone rise above something. I'm doing this to help someone achieve something. I personally am doing this to help you guys be better on camera. I am doing this to help you show up in spaces where you thought you couldn't show up. I am doing this because I am here to serve you. Right? And so you see those videos all the time because those people understand the importance of their purpose. They understand the importance of their voice, of their story, of their experiences, right? And so don't be afraid to do it scared. I didn't want to post it, but I posted it anyway. I didn't want to come on camera, but I did it anyway because it's not all about you. It is about the community you want to serve. So how do we fix this fear? Number one, by taking the you out of it, like we said. It's about the impact that you want to make, the transformation you want to see, the help you want to give to someone else, right? It's not about you. It's about how this piece of information will solve a problem for someone else. How will you help that person come through something that you just came through? It's not about you at all, right? So fear number one, mistake number one is thinking that it's all about you. Fixing that fear, though, is taking the you out of it. And I've taken myself out of things so many times just to show up for my community. So many times I didn't want to be places, but I showed up anyway. So many times I didn't want to make a post, but I made it anyway. So many times I didn't want to create the thing, but I did it anyway. And you know what was the payoff in the background? The messages and the DMs and the emails that said, thank you, right? The comments you're making right now in the chat that's saying, these nuggets are so good. It's not about you, right? So fear number two, mistake number two that you are making that's causing you to not show up on camera. You don't focus on the value you have to share. And in today's world, with content being everything, content being king, content being everywhere, we feel like everything we want to do has already been done. We feel like we have nothing to add to the conversation. You think this is the first webinar someone had about being bad on camera? I actually watched one class, a course, signed up for somebody else's course, teaching about how to be bad on camera. But you know what's different? Me. I am different. Nothing is overdone because what I bring to that pot is going to season it a little bit different. Right? So stop thinking that everything that you want to do is overdone. Stop shying away from doing stuff because you feel like you have nothing to add. Baby, you are the special sauce. What you bring to that pot, what you bring to that table, what you bring to that event is different because your unique experiences are different, your expertise is different, and your opinions are different. Right? And so we cover this in the Better on Camera workshop as well as my Litfluential course, where we talk about knowing your value and knowing that someone could wear the same blue dress, but it ain't gonna fall on their shoulders like it's falling on mine. Someone could wear the same ruby woo lipstick from MAC, but it's not gonna look on their skin how it looks on mine. It's not going to sit on their complexion like it sits on mine. And so don't believe that you don't have a say in a topic that you feel is overdone. It ain't overdone because you and I had nothing to do it yet. You ain't put your spin on it yet. You ain't add your 2 cents to it yet. So it's not overdone. There's still room for you. So mistake number 2, like we said, that's feeding into your fear, is you don't focus on the value that you have to share because you think it's overdone and you think you have nothing to add when you actually do. You are the secret sauce, right? So how do we overcome this fear? By focusing on delivering value, dropping gems and changing lives. That's all you have to focus on. Focus on delivering value, dropping your specific gems, and changing lives. When you know what you have to say is so life-changing, so transformational, so funny, so engaging, like nothing else matters. When you know that the experience that you are going to bring to your community and your audience, nobody else experienced it. Nothing else matters because what you have to say is different. When you experience it, what you did, how you did it, what you was wearing on that day, no one else could say that that is true for them. And so know that your opinions matter. Know that your expertise matters. Know that the experiences that you have under your belt matter. They are different, they are special, they are unique, and they matter. And so this should be one of the things you keep in the back of your head when you shy away from being on camera. Keep that in the back of your head, like, this is special. This is new. No one has seen this before because it's me, because it's mine, because I am now going to share this, right? So just know that you have something different to bring to the table, even when it seems like the table is already stacked, even when it feels like there are too many people in there. You have something special and unique to bring. So mistake number 3 that is feeding into our fear is that you don't see your audience as your community, but you see them as spectators. And what's the difference between community and spectators? Your community is engaged, they are involved, they trust you, they know you, they follow you, they share, they like, they comment, they hit you up in the DMs. When you start to see them as that, you start to feel a little bit more comfortable creating content for them, showing up on camera for them. But when you see them as strangers, as nosy people who just want to be judgmental, as people who just following you just to get in your business, you start to treat them that way. And when you treat them that way, you treat your content that way, you treat your brand that way, you treat your business that way, because now you're standoffish. Now you don't want to show up because you feel like you will be judged. You feel like you will just be putting yourself on display for a bunch of nosy people to say stuff about you. See your audience as your community. Every single person in here is my community, because only us in this group right now, only us on this webinar right now, only us. And because you are here, that means you saw me on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, or somewhere. You saw my link, you followed. And why did you follow? Because I think Ianthia has something to say that I trust, because I feel like she can help me, because I feel like I know her, I have a kinship to her. And when you feel that about me, I feel even 10 times better about you. And that makes us a community, right? And so every time I think about showing up on camera, I remember that I'm doing this for my community. I'm not doing this for strangers. I'm not doing this for nosy people who are going to be judgmental. I am doing this for Kenisha and Michelle and Felicia and Jessica and everybody who is in here, and Ianthia and Samantha. I am doing this for Brittany. I am doing this for Linda. And so I put a name to you guys, and that makes it easier to show up for you. It makes it easier to perform for you. It makes it easier to help you. Right? How are we doing in the chat? Let me know. How are you guys liking this so far? Put a 4. I'm going straight down the number. Put a 4 in the comments if you felt that just now. If you felt like you need to now take your community, take your audience, and now think of them as community. Think of them as your community builders, as your tribe. They are there for a reason. They're not spectators. They've been on your Instagram from 2009. They've been liking your stuff from 2009. They've been following you from 2015. They've been hitting you up in the DMs and putting you on to stuff or asking you about stuff. They are your community. They are your tribe, right? And so how do we fix this fear of thinking our audience are spectators rather than our community? We name them. We put a name to them. My tribe is called the Liddies, right? And this is something that I also teach in the Better on Camera course. What are the strategies employed by people like myself, as well as celebrities, to name their tribe, to put a name, a face, actions, and clothes even on what our tribes look like, right? Know that they have already accepted you just as you are. Y'all have accepted me just as I am over these years, all this time. Y'all have accepted me even the times when I didn't show up, when I went on vacation, or I just didn't feel like posting a week. I know that you guys have accepted me. I know that your community, yes, they will judge you, but they will judge you lovingly. I have received so many emails, so many DMs, so many messages. Hey, sis, I see a typo in this. You may want to change it. That's love. That's my tribe. That's my community. That's not a nosy, judgmental person who saw that, laughed at me, screenshot it, and sent it to their friends. They sent it back to me with love to say, hey, Ianthia, you may want to look at this again. Right? And so, yes, there may be some judgment from your community and your tribe, but it's loving. It's productive. It's constructive judgment. And that's what you need. You need to always remember that these people are here to root for you. They are here to go to bat for you. So when that camera goes in your face, see them beyond the lens. See them beyond the screen and the frame. See them, right? Know that they are there for you. So now this one, whoo, child, this is where we get into story time, and we are really speeding through this presentation, and I am happy because we get some time now, more time to talk at the end and do some question and answering. But this is where it's going to get real personal and vulnerable for me, because mistake number 4 is a mistake that I made that also led to a fear of me not wanting to be on camera as well, right? You think people care about your imperfections. You think people care about your imperfections or your past. You think they know everything that's happened in your life, and the minute they see you on screen, they are judging you, right? You think people care about the imperfection that they don't even know exists. So who's ready for story time? So story time goes like this. I was the anchor at ZNS News in 2011, and I felt like I was at the top of my game. Like I was killing it. I think at the time I was the youngest person to have anchored ZNS News. I was only there for 6 months, and they had already put me on the desk, and that was like, who, already? And I did a great job. I got a lot of praise for that, and I did well. And I honestly can say during that time, I also felt like I was a little bit cocky. We could be real here, right? Y'all is my community, y'all is my tribe. I felt like I was just losing sight of the mission, and I was more so focused on all of the glamorousness of it all, if that's a word. And later in that year, that's exact same year, I had an event happen in my life that was traumatizing to myself, to my family, to my reputation. I literally got into a public altercation with someone. And it was at the Food Fest in 2011. And this is the first time that I am ever sharing this story with anybody. My husband is looking at the screen like, is she really going there? Yeah, we going there today. He didn't know that we were going there, but we going there today. I had a public altercation with someone at Food Fest in 2011. This is on a Sunday, and I had to go to work on Monday and anchor the news. I called in and I said, I cannot make it to work. I just had an event situation happen, and I just need to take a few days off. Now, before I even got back to work, the news started to swirl. And y'all know how it is working for government in the Bahamas. Some of them people ain't got your back. So it was just a lot of talk going around and talking about me and bad-mouthing me and just all kind of things was going on. It was just a whirlwind. Like my life literally felt like it was upended. And so I told them to take me off the desk. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't feel like I'm a good representation for this. I just need to get together. I ended up quitting that job and going back to JCN, where I had just come from just 6 months prior. They wanted me to go on the TV and do the news. And I said, I don't think I'm ready. I felt like every single where I went, people were judging me. They were looking at me. They were laughing at me. And the only thing in my mind, I had already accomplished so much before this event happened. But this one event happened, and it like overshadowed everything. I felt like if I went into the pharmacy, people knew about this event. I felt like if I went to the doctor's office, people knew. If I went to the food store, in my head now, everyone knew what happened to me, and they were laughing at me and they were looking at me. And so I shied away. I literally took a pay cut at work, almost like a demotion, I'd say, because I did not want to be on camera. And I shied away from the camera for a very long time, for my personal projects as well as for work. And, you know, the one thing that turned it all around, and this just lasted so long, like this, I would call it, I don't want to say depression because I ain't no doctor. I can't really, diagnose myself, but I was in a way for a very, very, very long time. I was touchless. I didn't want nobody come around me. When people came up to me and said that they saw me on TV, I felt like they were being snarky and really meant that they saw or heard about what had happened. And it was just a mess. And one day I just said, I forgive myself. I can't let this keep me back from the thing that I love. Like, I love being on camera. I love creating projects. I love creating stuff, being in front of the screen and hosting and interviewing. And I wasn't doing any of that because of this one event. And one day I just had to forgive myself. You have to forgive yourself for making the blunder that one time you went on screen. You have to forgive yourself for not looking your best that one time you saw yourself on TV. You have to forgive yourself for not remembering that one thing that you needed to say on screen but didn't say. Just as I had to forgive myself to show up, you have to forgive yourself and show up, right? Because remember, no one cares about your imperfections. And I had to realize that the more I shrunk, the less I produced, the less I did, right? But when I forgave myself and I started to create more, put out more, do more, people came to me like, oh my God, Ianthia, thank you for this. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Like, even if they knew what happened, they didn't care about my imperfections. They did not care. If they didn't care, they didn't even know it existed, right? So you have to forgive yourself, and you have to know that, one, not everybody cares about your imperfection. And not everybody even knows that they exist, right? You have to let your personality, and I had to do this, shine so bright that it overshadows the thing that you think is holding you back. And people are selfish, right? I fixed this fear also by remembering that people are selfish. They don't care how you look. They don't care what you say. You know what they're worried about? How could this help me? How could this help me advance? How could this put me on? How could this cause a transformation in my life, right? So imagine I'd showed up here today, no makeup, hair tied up in my night dress. I don't think y'all would have cared that much. Y'all would have just cared about what she got to say, how this can help me, what strategies do I need to add to my business or my brand to move myself forward. I ain't thinking wear makeup, that's my business, right? Remember that people are selfish. So how do we fix this fear of thinking that people know and care about our imperfections? Again, forgive yourself. Know that no one cares, or they don't even know, by letting your personality shine so bright, and that remembering that people are indeed selfish, and not selfish in a bad way, but selfish at a point where it's like, sis, I got you. Like, you ain't got to dress up for me. You ain't got to be the best for me. I just need to know what in your brain that I can get out, right? How can it help me? How can it help me move my needle forward? And not that they don't care about you overall. It's just that knowing that they here for them, like y'all are here for y'all are here for what you could get. And that's not a bad thing, because I had signed into a lot of stuff, signed up for a lot of stuff to learn. You are here to learn, to grow, to advance your business, to remember something, to get something from me today, right? People are selfish, but in a good way. And so that's story time. That's story time in a nutshell. And that is that's fear number 4 that we need to get over, thinking that people care about your imperfections, and knowing that they don't, knowing that you have to forgive yourself, right? So it's not all on you. Your fear of being on camera is not, y'all, I must be worked up myself just now because my watch is like, oh, workout completed. I'm like, I am not working out. I guess I was nervous telling that story, but whatever, right? But you have to know that it's not all about you. It's not all on you, right? These fears that you have are also based in some really pesky, annoying psychological elements that play into your on-camera fears, like confirmation bias, which is our tendency to search and find information that backs up our previously held beliefs, like mere exposure effect, which is an actual physical thing. So when your slight facial asymmetries are left unflipped by the camera, you see an unappealing, deformed version of yourself. And we do a camera mirror practical inside the workshop where I show you what that really looks like, because what you see in the mirror is not what you see on the camera, on the screen. And so when you watch yourself on TV, you're looking to see this mirror image, but that mirror image does not exist because the camera does something different. And so I share a lot more about that at the workshop and how that really plays into your psychological, into your psyche when you go on camera. And as well as video phobia. Video phobia is judgment from others. What others will say, what they can think, how they can feel about my flaws. Like all of these things play into our fears when we have to go on camera. So imagine now you have the 4 fears. Thinking it's all about you, not focusing on your value, not forgiving yourself for thinking people know about your imperfections, and not seeing your audience as your community. Imagine these 4 fears plus these 3 psychological elements playing into your own. Like you would never pick up the camera to go on screen. You would never accept a media interview because all of these things are now bombarding you and telling you that you are bad on camera, that you look bad, that you sound bad, that no one cares about what you have to say. Imagine all of these things just weighing so heavily on you. Put a 5 in the comments if you feel like all of those things are weighing and sitting on your shoulder, right? Samantha says, I don't recognize myself on camera. And that's that mere exposure effect that we talk about, right? And we talk a lot about what that means, the science behind it, how you can kind of warp that image and see yourself differently, right? So if you think you are bad on camera, if you think you are ugly on camera, if you only see your imperfections on camera, then all of these biases come together when you have to watch back footage of yourself, and it makes the experience anxiety inducing. It makes that experience so hard, so difficult to swallow and stomach, right? But in order to be better on camera, you have to, 1, better your relationship with yourself and your past. And that is so personal to me, as you heard just now. That is deeply rooted in my heart. And even to this day, I am still forgiving myself, still getting over what happened, still really just working through people or thinking that people are looking at me with that in mind, right? In order to be better on camera, you also have to better yourself, better your relationship, with your audience. Is this my tribe? Is this my community? Who am I showing up for? Knowing that these people are there for you, whether they're watching you on the news or they're watching you on Instagram or they're watching you on TikTok, knowing that these people are your community. And again, in order to be better on camera, you have to better your relationship with the camera itself, learning what the camera is, what it does, how it works, how it sees you, how it picks up your colors and your tones, right? And so we really focus on all of these things in the Better on Camera workshop, what colors to wear, what to say, how to write out your scripts, how to memorize or use notes to remember what to say, right? What is the camera doing for me? Where should I stand in relationship with the camera? Where should I look? Which side of me does the camera love more? And I know everyone say, oh, this is my good side, right? How do you find your side? How do you find what is your hairstyle on camera? How do you find out what is your makeup style on camera, right? Because again, seeing yourself in the mirror and seeing yourself on camera are 2 completely different things. And you could either fall in love with it or you could absolutely hate it. And in the workshop, Better on Camera, we teach you how to create that persona that you fall in love with on camera. So let me just hop to the comments. Prestonia said, so realistic. Although others say they love my voice, I don't like to hear myself on camera. I am so very nervous on camera. Prestonia, would you believe if I tell you I hate my voice as well? There is a blog on my website that's called Turning Your Insecurities into Invoices. And even though I hate my voice, I ain't gonna stop recording. I ain't gonna stop showing up on camera. I ain't gonna stop using my voice for commercials and everything else, because someone out there clearly loves it because they're still paying for it, right? So even though you don't like it, or you feel like you don't like it, others will say something else. What you hear when you hear yourself in your head is not what people hear out there. And there's science behind that as well, as to how our voice is different to us than it is to everyone else. So when you hear yourself on camera, it's what other people are hearing. It's what other people are used to hearing. The you that you want to hear is the you inside your head. And that just doesn't exist in the real world for the rest of us, if that makes sense. Say, unbelievable, I absolutely love your voice. Really? So you don't need to like your voice. It's not for you. Exactly, Tossie. You ain't got to like it. The people who pay ain't got to like it. Someone says, child, when I play my voice notes back, it ain't sound right. Because what you trying to hear, because the you in your head that you keep hearing, that voice that you are hearing, is not what people are used to hearing every day. Deborah says, so true. I hate how I look and sound on camera. Oh, Deborah, sounds like you need to sign up for my workshop. Sounds like we need to help you create your on-camera persona. And what you see here from me today is my on-camera persona. And in the workshop, I call her Ianthia. This is not Ianthia, y'all see sitting here right now, because Ianthia would have been home, no makeup on, in some ratty shorts and a shirt, chilling out. This is what I put on, not as a fake or phony or fraud, but this is what I do to show up for you. This helps get me in the mood. This helps me to just perform my best. And so it is important to create on-camera personas. And that is one of the things we spent a lot of time on in the workshop. So, question for you today. Are you ready to stop being anxious on camera? Are you ready to go from freezing up to showing up? Are you ready to be more confident in front of the camera for photos and videos? Are you ready to be seen, heard, and to share your value? The bigger question is, are you ready to be better on camera? Yes, yes, yes. Jessica says yes, yes, and yes. So meet Rhonda, right? Rhonda was in your position. She wanted to learn how to be better on camera. She wanted to learn how to show up for her audience. She is a 20-year vegan and health coach. And she posted this on her Instagram. She said, have you ever felt this way? You've been doing a thing for a very long time. You're knowledgeable and well-versed in it, but yet you hesitate to call yourself an expert just because you don't have a degree in it or because you don't want to imply that you know it all. So Rhonda is someone who has been a 20-year vegan, like we said, and she recently relaunched her coaching services for people. Last year, she came to my Litfluential content course because she wanted to learn how to use Instagram to make her business more seen. She wanted to figure out how to create content. Excuse me, here comes the cough. How to create content, post the content to get her business seen, positioned in front of new clients. And then this year, Rhonda was like, Ianthia, okay, I did that part. Now I need part 2 from you. How do I now show up on camera? Because I'm tired of posting videos or photos of apples and lentil and chickpeas, right? How do I now put my face out there to better connect with my audience? And so she attended my Bet on Camera workshop in August. Rhonda is now killing it on Instagram and on TikTok. You can see all of the videos she's been posting. She also even created a thing called 10 on 10. So at 10 o'clock on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, she goes live for 10 minutes just to engage with her audience. This is something Rhonda could not have dreamed of doing prior to coming to the workshop. Rhonda was just like, I did not see myself doing this ever because I didn't have the courage to do it. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I have anything of value worth sharing. But Rhonda, like Tossie says, she is killing it. Like Rhonda, every time I pick up my phone, I feel like I see Rhonda in my timeline. And I love it because I'm like, I know that I had a part to play in Rhonda showing up for her audience, right? So would you like me to teach you my in-depth? So you want to be like Rhonda and have this amazing transformation, right? And would you like me to teach you my in-depth, proven strategies for beating your on-camera fears? Would you like me to teach you how to be better on camera so you can grow your brand and your business? Type yes. I want to see all yeses in the chat if you answer yes to these questions. Patrice says, please, with the praying emoji. I got you. So here we go. You have 2 options then, right? Option number 1, take what you learned how to dig and implement it yourself. You can go and take those 4 fears and figure out how to implement them in your strategy. Or you can work with me personally to help you expertly strategize and implement these and other effective steps so you can show up on camera. So I want to personally invite you to my Better on Camera workshop. This is a 2-day in-person event where I will be working with 10 women in marketing and public relations, content creation, or in public-facing positions who are ready to show up more confidently on camera, but the camera scares them. I will be teaching you my 4-step signature framework, which is start, shine, show up, and shoot. On day 1, we will go through the start and shine modules where we will talk about this relationship that you have with the camera, right? how the camera sees you, how you want to be seen by the camera. We will also help you to identify and define your unique persona. Who is this person that you want to show up as on camera? We will literally craft that for you from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. On day 2, we will do show up. Show up is where I teach you some of the technical aspects of the camera. This again is learning the camera, learning why I'm afraid of the camera and how to not be afraid of the camera, learning some of the nuances and how can I shoot my own video, save some money, right? And on day 2, we will also be actually shooting some video for you. So you will come in here into the studio with my team who shoots all of my content. And we will be shooting a 30-second video for you to either promote your brand, your business, or your service. This is the perfect time to get that professional video you need for the holidays to get people in your stores, booking with you, buying your products, right? We will shoot that for you and email that for you so you can have either a new introduction to your business, a relaunch of your brand, or just something that informs and educates your audience. So at the Better on Camera workshop, you will learn how to identify the mindset bumps keeping you from showing up, learn how to define your on-camera persona. You will learn the technical skills, like we said, for shooting, and you will potentially meet your next client. I have had people come to my workshop, and while they're here learning from me, they booking gigs or they selling something to someone, right? Because you will meet women who are just like you. You will be sitting in a room with people who want to learn the same things you want to learn and want to get the same things you want to get, right? And so I see Linda is putting that link in the bio. What I need to do, why didn't I pop this up here? There we go. Let me know if y'all could see that. All right, there goes the offer. Let me know if you see that in the chat, right? Let me know if you see the offer in the chat, or do you see the offer on the screen at all? I have now 7 spots remaining to this workshop. Meet Naisha now. Naisha is a beauty queen and pageant coach who also came to both my Liftfluential and my Bad on Camera workshops because she's like, Ianthia, I need to get in your brain. I need to learn. I need to know. Right? And so she says about the Bad on Camera workshop that it was filled with so many gems and practical tips to step up your video content game. I'd highly recommend this workshop to anyone wanting to step their video content game up, no matter the platform. It applies to you if you are a business owner, a content creator, an influencer, or an advocate wanting to share your cause in a more intentional way. Right? So Naisha, like I said, took both of my workshops, and she is also killing it on Instagram and TikTok. And the beautiful thing about it and content and creating content is that Naisha's in the pageant world, right? And she has her own pageant brand and platform. And in someone's head, you'll be like, well, how do you talk about pageantry all day on Instagram or TikTok? And because she came to the Bad on Camera workshop, she has learned strategies and tools and content creation tips that teaches her or taught her every single day what you could create content on. You can see her strutting down the thing. You can see her talking about being a pageant owner. You can see her talking about how she mentors and tutors the ladies in her program. So it's a really great opportunity for you to learn not only how to show up on camera, but how to create the content to show up on camera. So again, this is a 2-day in-person training event. There will be light lunch and refreshments, as well as you will get your activation workbook, the workbook that you get to go home with. So what is the cost of all of this? What do you get if you sign up today, right now, in the 10 minutes remaining on this call? You will get to secure your spot at the Better on Camera workshop, and someone purchased this morning, so we got 7 seats left. You will also get access to that Litfluential 30-day content course. So that's the course, the workshop that Linda and Rhonda did before the Better on Camera workshop. You will get the recordings of that. You will also get a 30-minute group coaching call. So we'll meet in a setting similar to this, and we will have a 30-minute call where we can strategize how to use those videos, when to use those videos, what even captions you can put on those videos, right? And you will shoot that 30-second video for you, right? This all values. When me and my coach did the numbers, I was a little scared, but she was like, girl, that's almost $2,000 offer. A 2-day workshop with food, a workbook, and they get to shoot a video. They also get lifetime access to my Litfluential content course, a 30-minute group coaching call where we get to strategize a value of $18.97. And if you purchase today on this call for just $9.97, the offer is up in the link. Yes, LaShawn, it is in New Providence. Listen, if I could travel to another island to do it, I definitely would. I got to plan that. But grab your spots right now, right? Because we are about to get out of here. But today, if you purchase within the next 24 hours, though, you get your spot at the workshop for $9.97, but without the bonuses. Well, no, you do get a bonus. You do get the Litfluential content course. So if you purchase within the next 24 hours, you get your spot to the workshop as well as access to the content course, but you won't get that 30-minute follow-up group call that will be just as energetic and just as gem-filled as this one is, right? So registration for the Bet on Camera workshop ends on Thursday, November the 3rd. That's because I want to wrap up my numbers, see what I have to plan and prepare for. So make sure you guys get in. I want you to join my tribe. These are my girls, my people. I even have men in my tribe who were at my workshop last year. This is Eddie, my good friend Eddie, who was able to launch his self-care brand last year after attending the workshop, and now he is showing up in ways he never thought possible. This is Urabana. You may see Urabana on cable news, on the TV all the time. She is always been a great content creator, but she felt like she was in a slump. She was like, Ianthia, I need some new strategies. I need you to help me. Like, I want to do this, but I need you to kind of give me some new strategies and tips and gems to just get out of my slum and my funk. And so these are the people who are in my tribe, and I want you to join them. Sign up right now for in-person and virtual training and a lifetime access to my DIY online course for just $9.97. I want to see you at that workshop November 12th and 13th. I want to see you there. So one question for you before you have questions for me. Are you finally ready to be better on camera? And I can take a few questions now. If you popped any into the Q&A, let me check that out. I don't see any there, or you may have put them into the chat. I know Kenny and Linda and Kim have been helping you guys out with that. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions that I can answer right now for you before we log off. Like, this workshop for me has been even transformational, just teaching it, right? And every time I teach it or I go through the modules, I learn something new. And so the ladies who have attended, you can see some of the testimonials on my Instagram page. They are just doing it. They are just showing up in ways on social media, even in the news. I've seen Rhonda on ZNS. Rhonda had a segment on Guardian Radio the other day. Rhonda has she's one of the people who I sing the praises of from this course. She has really done the work to show up better on camera. So Deborah says, I want to be the date some work for me. Just learned that my son has to have surgery in Florida. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Deborah. Drop your email in the chat for me, though, because there are ways that I can still work with you. So drop your email in the chat, and I can send some more offers for you if you are interested and want to do it at another time. But all the best to your son. I pray all goes well. This is your community here, like I say, so we will definitely keep you in our thoughts as your son goes through that procedure. Felicia, thanks for coming. Appreciate the information today. Any questions that I can answer? We have about 5 minutes to go. So if you feel, okay, I see a question popped up here. Okay, I see you put the same thing from Deborah. Yeah, Deborah, just drop your email in the chat, and I will definitely reach out to you for some more opportunities. All right, and that is my notice that I have 5 minutes to go. It's time to wrap up. If you don't have any more questions, I just want to say again, thank you so much for showing up. The Bet on Camera workshop, the second session, it was so good, y'all. Like, after I did it in August, and people were reaching out to me like, when are you going to do this again? When are you going to do this again? I was like, we got to do this again. And so I did not think or imagine I would be right here in November having a second session of this, but it was so good. It was so gem-filled. I see the transformation in my students. I see what they're able to do, and hopefully you can join us as well. Any quick jitter relief strategy? Like when you get jitters before the camera turns on? Yes. how I relieve my jitters is by, one way I do it is, but I arrive early. Like whatever it is I have to shoot, wherever I got to go, I arrive a little bit early, because for me, getting acclimated to the spot helps a lot. When I see how big it is, when I see how far I am from the audience or where I'll be talking, or if it's an on-camera interview, I just want to get into the spot early. So for me, it's really just showing up in the space a little bit earlier and just kind of woo-saing and getting acclimated to the spot. So that's one thing that I do to help me with my jitters. I had jitters today, believe it or not. I had jitters today before this webinar, but I just got here a little bit early and I just had to woo-saw it out. Rolandra says, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. All the points were good, but your story brought it to life for me. Listen, and I knew I had to add, like, in order for this to work, in order for this to be real and authentic, in order for me to tell you about beating your fear, I had to tell you the number one thing I did to beat my fear. And that really is that story. And so thank you so much for just being open to hearing that and allowing me the safe space to feel vulnerable. So yeah, thank you, Rolandra. Yes, my girl Linda is in the chat telling y'all get your spot today. Thank you so much for that, Linda. And a big thanks publicly to Linda and Kim and Kenny, who showed up from another group that we are in together. And I put out the word, like, I need some help. I need somebody to kind of help me manage the chat. And they were all there for me. So thank you, ladies, so much for showing up for me today. Looking forward to returning the favor. That works for me too. Oh, Michelle, I think I missed your first part of your sentence or question. Oh, you mean showing up early? Yeah, showing up early works. It works. You become one with the space. Yes, Samantha, I have a coach. The only way I am able to teach you and coach you is I need someone pouring into me. And when I signed up with her and took on coaching for myself, like, everything changed. Everything switched for me. And so that's how I know that coaching works, because coaches need coaches. And so if you need a coach, if you need someone to help you be better on camera, show up more confidently on camera and in the real world, then I got you. Because trust me, I am backed by some goods. I am backed by people who know what they are doing. So I hope to see you in my class. Actually, congratulations, because you were the one who booked this morning, right? So thank you so much for that. Jessica, thank you as well. Thank you for showing up for us today, because it wasn't for you. No, it was not for me. It was not about me. It was not about me. Hi, Dwyla. Thank you so much for being here. I think someone asked earlier as well about getting the slides. Yeah, I can send those specific slides to you to have, but definitely want to see you guys at the workshop. Again, we have 7 spots remaining. It's going to be 2 days of amazingness, 2 days of learning, 2 days of improving ourselves, 2 days of engaging and networking and just being in the same space, learning, growing. So if you do wrap it up 1 minute, I got 1 minute to go. If you are in a public facing position in media, PR, marketing, and your boss says, hey, I need you to do this interview, and you're like, girl, no, not me. Know that this workshop is for you. If you are a content creator, you feel like you're down in the slumps, or you feel like you're tired of watching other people create the video content that you want to create, this workshop is for you. We have this on November the 12th and 13th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. It's like binge watching, your favorite Netflix show on a weekend. I am here for you. You get an activation workbook, light lunch, refreshments, some music, and most importantly, I think that video where you finally get to put everything you learned from the workshop to use and practice, and you will see yourself in a way that you've never seen yourself before, because I'm in the studio where we're shooting lights, cameras, action. So if there are no more questions,